everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of Whatcha Readin' Wednesday. This week we're looking at books to film. Tori, with all this time at home, are you binging anything on Netflix, Amazon, etc.?
Actually, I recently got into a Hulu show. You didn't mention that, but it's on Hulu. It's Castle Rock. And it technically counts as a book-to-screen adaptation because it is full of Stephen King stuff.
I had been rewatching The Office, and I got to season 6 and I stopped because I realized I didn't really care what happened after that point. And then also I'm binging Shameless, the US version, because it's on Netflix and I've never seen it before. And by binging, I mean like I've watched a whole season every day while I'm working.
That's true binging.
Yep.
My husband and I started watching Ozark, which I don't think is based on a book, but we are both getting into it. Pretty scary and violent at times, but interesting because it keeps twists and turns, and there's a lot of characters to keep track of.
I actually finished Ozark just the other day. And that was the last thing I was kind of binging. I was binging the latest season, and I haven't picked up anything else as of yet.
I also started watching on Netflix Unorthodox, which is based on a memoir, and that one is also good.
Have anybody seen Nailed It? I know this is totally off topic because
Yes, the cooking show.
It's
that's great.
Hilarious. Oh my gosh. So I was watching that the other day and I was just like, this is hilarious. It's on Netflix, guys. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. It's on season 4. I started on season 4 and now I'm going back to season 3, 2, and 1. So I'm working my way backwards. But oh my gosh, hilarious, guys. And then
Does it make you want to bake?
Good stuff.
And you're like, you did not nail that at all.
Well, if I'm being honest, the last thing I binged was Love is Blind. Have you guys seen
Yes!
that?
That was a good girl. Yes.
What a mess.
Yeah.
I saw a thing the other day on whatever it was, probably Instagram, that was like, the reason that this happened is because Jessica's 34 and Mark is 24.
And I don't understand that reference.
Me neither. I gotta watch it. It's good.
Yeah.
Was that the dating show where they can't see each other?
Yeah.
It's on
Okay.
Netflix.
Okay.
It was really good. My husband got me watching it. He's the binger in our relationship. He like binge watches so many series. He's like, Vanessa, you need to watch this. I'm like, So he caught me while I was reading a book, and then I got interested. I said, ooh. And then I started watching it with him. But yeah.
Are you reading anything that has been turned into a TV series or movie?
Yes-ish. Okay, so last year, I got really into the Hulu, well, it's not the Hulu series, it's on Hulu right now. I think it was AMC, the series The Terror, right? Which is based on a book by Dan Simmons, which was fine. The book was fine, but because it's based on an historical event, there's been a number of really great, like, scholarly works on it, one of which is called Erebus. It's by Michael Palin, right? You know him from A Fish Called Wanda. You know him from The Wind in the Willows. And you know him from one episode of a TV show called Marty, but also the comedy troupe Monty Python.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that guy, right? He's the one guy who's been knighted.
Perhaps.
And it's a really cool, it's kind of like a biography of one of the ships, which went out sailing in the 1840s trying to find the Northwest Passage. And I got really excited because I remember when the ship itself was finally found back in 2014, it was an event. It was so good. And my interest in the actual voyages started because James Taylor wrote a song called The Frozen Man, which he wrote after seeing a National Geographic piece where they dug up the corpses of one of the guys on one of the islands, and it was so well preserved. So it's like, from childhood to now, to just last month, I read Erebus. Very good. If you enjoy historical drama, I guess, I think you'd really like the TV series. It's only 10 episodes. And if you enjoy what I think was a really well-researched historical aspect of it, you'd enjoy the TV show and the book.
So has anybody read this, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna?
Nope.
Shelved it.
Oh.
What's that? You shelved it?
I've shelved it, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm
Yeah, I've
only,
seen it.
full confession, I'm only into chapter 3 right now, so I haven't gotten very far, but I've heard really good things. It's a historical fiction. This is coming to movie theaters in August. And then she also has Firefly Lane on Netflix, which will come out in 2020 with Katherine Heigl.
Notebook, I will have to say, that's my prop. Hi, everybody. The Notebook. The Notebook movie is way better than the book. I know people don't like, but the book was not as good as the movie. If you watch the movie, you don't need to read the book. I hate to break it to people, but watch the movie first and then read the book and you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, that's it. That's all I got. All right, Tori, what you got?
I'm not currently reading anything that's been adapted, but who knows? Something I have read in the last few days is probably going to be adapted eventually, because that's just the way the world works. But I'm always, looking at new Stephen King books to read, and they're just doing everything with him. So
Yeah.
if I could suggest something to read and then watch, because to me they were equally as good, is Gone Girl.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of read that book just like randomly, and I really liked it, as messed up as it is. And then I needed to immediately watch the movie, so I went out and bought it because I'm a freak. But it was good. Even if Ben Affleck is in it, it was good.
What about Sharp Objects?
I was going to say, that's my
A
recommendation.
great show.
Yes, for like later on in the show. I was going to recommend, go read Sharp Objects and then watch the HBO miniseries, because holy cow, that was good too.
In the past, I have read Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, and it was one that I thought the movie was just as good as the book. They had a lot of good music in it. I liked the characters. They were characters I envisioned in those roles, and it really worked for me. I liked it. Sandra Bullock was one of the starring roles. So she's really good. Nicole Kidman was the other star in it. And just recently, though, I just watched A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman, and my book club read it last year, and we all really, really liked it. So we have the video on our Library to Go site. So I checked it out and watched it, and it's in Swedish, so you have your subtitles. But that main character is just absolutely perfect in that role, just perfect. And all the characters are it was so delightful. I really, really enjoyed it. So I recommend people, if they haven't seen it, it's very good. And the book is just as good to read too.
Yeah, I recently received a digital arc of a manga called The Kingdom of the Gods, which has an adapted series on Netflix just called The Kingdom. From what I gather, it's a historical drama / horror. I haven't seen the show yet, but if I like the manga, I'm definitely going to check it out.
Well, I'm reading that. It's a new book. I don't think it's out yet, and now I can't even remember the title of it. Of course, wait. It's with Native Americans. It comes. Oh no, it's here, April 7th. The Only Good Indians.
Huh.
And it's by Stephen Graham Jones, and it deals with like these 4 friends on an Indian reservation, and they have this one experience, which I haven't read about yet, because they're all kind of like a little different part of the story as you go through, and it haunts them. This experience haunts them.
I always, when people ask me for suggestions on what to read, I always tell them about The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater, and there have been talks about turning that into a TV show on Sci-Fi, which has one of my other favorite shows, The Magicians, which in my opinion was better than the books.
There we go.
But I watched the show first, and then I read the books. And then also Little Women that came out this past year was like the best movie I'd seen.
Yeah,
in a long
that
time.
was excellent. I really like that too.
But I feel like I kind of need to redeem myself, because, I do like some books better than the movies. And one of the ones that I really liked was Kiss the Girls by James Patterson. I loved the book, hated the movie.
do you have any Overdrive recommendations that would be great to read before watching the film?
Okay, so mine is the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaefer. It's an excellent book, set in World War II, historical fiction. The movie comes across really well too. It's just a really neat book with some really quirky characters in it.
But one thing I just realized was on Netflix now is Perks of Being a Wallflower. Another one. The movie isn't, as good, but it's still pretty decent as far as adaptations go. The book is heavy. I would say trigger warnings for a few things, but I would suggest reading it first and then watching the movie.
Dune by Frank Herbert. The movie is slated for a December release date, and I read it back in high school, and I think I might reread it before that comes out.
I do feel like films should be able to stand on their own, and I think a lot of times if I read a book before seeing the movie, I'll resent it. But if you have the time and the emotional willpower, I really recommend reading Voices from Chernobyl by Svetlana Alexievich before you watch HBO's 5-part miniseries, Chernobyl. It's really good. It's also really heavy, to take your words, but definitely worth the time you can put into it, especially since it was just so recent. Also, if I'm going to take a stand here, Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, you guys. T.S. Eliot. It's fun. Okay? It's a good time. And you can just skip the movie, actually.
Why is cats?
No one knows why.
Well, now I should add too, because I read the book The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot, which I really enjoyed. I did skim through some of the medical stuff because I'm not into all the details, but it was an excellent book. And I know there's a movie on it, and I have not seen the movie yet, and I know Oprah stars in it. And I just listened to like a podcast by the author the other night, and it just got me all excited about it again. And now I want to see that movie and see if that compares.
The other thing I really liked too was The Longest Ride. Also a Nicholas Sparks book.
Longest Ride.
That's it. That's all I got, y'all. Read Nicholas Sparks. Good writer. There you go.
That's how I feel about A Walk to Remember, actually.
Yeah.
I love the movie way more than I love the book.
That's one of my favorite movies, and I forgot it was a book for, I just
Yeah. Well, the book takes place in like the 40s or 50s or something like that. And they made the movie present day.
Okay.
Which was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, that's all the time we have this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Stay well.
Stay safe.
Remember, stay home, take care, tune in next week. We'll be here again, same time, same place. Let us know what you'd like to hear next. Bye-bye.
Bye. I got the notebook.
Oh no.
You fell off your chair.
I got the notebook. I'm ready.
It looked like she fell off her chair.
She's
I know,
so
right?
relatable.
Don't listen to me.
Okay, well,
Okay.
nothing new there.
Exactly.
Okay. This is when everyone waves and says hello.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
everyone.
It's in the script, so
Sorry.